Gina, Sinéad, how are you guys? Great to have you on.
We're
Thank
great,
you.
Rich. How are you?
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Yeah.
What's
thank
going
you.
on?
You know, winding down the summer. Can't believe how fast it's gone.
So
It's almost
we're
September.
almost September. It's crazy, right? Labor Day, right around the corner. Where? So where'd you just come back from?
Fire Island.
Fire Island.
Yeah,
Week?
annual family trip for
You
a
go
week.
too? Would you? have to
No.
work?
She was invited.
I was invited, but I decided to stay, just close to home this year.
That's awesome.
I have some time coming up. My family's visiting, so I'll take some time off when they're here.
And then January, of course.
Yeah, January we have the baby coming, so it'll
Gina
be
Padro's team is
Excited.
growing.
That's right.
another boy,
Another boy.
for the team.
Yep.
So so we have a lot of exciting things coming up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You must be so happy. Your husband has to be ecstatic, right?
Oh my God, he can't wait.
Really?
Absolutely can't wait for a little mini him.
Yeah. Lucky you.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
It's awesome until it's there, and then it's awesome. I'm sure you could tell her. You've been through it.
Yep, a couple of times.
Once or twice.
I'm here to tell you, you'll survive.
You'll
Yeah,
survive.
yeah.
It's
You'll
not that
survive.
way. Yeah, if we
We all
survive,
have.
yeah, it's and again, the son always attracts the mom.
Absolutely.
You know, and
That's why I wanted one.
and I think I have the only daughter that attracts the mom.
Okay.
So,
All right.
No, me and my daughter are tight. At least I think I am. She might not say
Yeah,
it.
she'll tell us the truth later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll definitely
We'll
tell you the
find
truth. So, Gina, let's start with you. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Carl Place, Long Island.
Okay.
Born and raised Long Islander my entire life. I currently live in Merrick. I've been there 29 years.
29 years in
Bought my
Maryland.
house in 1996. And just August 5th was 29 years.
Is that your first home?
My first home.
Wow.
Yep. We bought an itty bitty cape that was like 1,100 square feet. It was just myself, my husband, and my stepdaughter, and it was 2 bedrooms upstairs. And then we had our daughter, and then we had our son, and we had to do something. So it was early 2000s, and we looked for every center hall colonial in Merrick because my stepdaughter was already in school, so we didn't want to move her. And we looked for every center hall colonial that was on the market. And at that time, they were running about 500,000, 525, but they needed so much work.
Wow.
And we were like, okay, so do we go into this house and have to put money into that, or do we just stay where we are? And we loved our block. There was lots of kids. We would
Yeah,
take
you're
all our
on an awesome
neighbors.
block, yeah.
So we decided to renovate. So we were out of the house for 9 months.
Wow.
During the renovation, we actually took it to the ground and rebuilt it. And fast forward, here we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we did it opposite. 97, I bought my first townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Sold it in 99 or 2000, right around there. 2002, we bought a center hall colonial with a guest house on it. Doubled our money from the first house we bought. Second house, did that. We sold that after we bought it. Double that. Moved to Whitestone, Malba Gardens, or whatever you want to call it. There's so many names over there in Whitestone. And literally doubled our money there, and then went to Westchester and stayed because now the kids are in school, and so we were able to pretty much buy our house outright from taking the tax credit and the tax advantage for not falling in love with a house every 2 years. You just did it the opposite where you stayed.
Yeah, I'm a rare breed now, I guess. A lot of people move more often,
Sure.
What is it, 5 to 7 years? I don't know if it's that anymore. Used to be. But no, we grew our roots there. We're staying there, and there's no reason for us to leave.
But when we were coming up, we were every 2 years because that's when they first came out with that tax credit, where it was every 2 years you can change.
Right.
As long as you were primary. As long as it was your primary residence, you didn't get taxed on the money that you made.
Yeah.
And that's when houses were doubling and tripling. So it was a good time to buy a house. It still is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was, once we moved out from that renovation, I was like, I'm never doing this again.
I can imagine. That
my
had to be
God.
torture.
And we were only in the house, like 6 years when we did the renovation, and the amount of stuff that you collect that you don't realize
Ridiculous,
until you
right?
have to pack it all up and get it out. It was like, all right, no. I said, the only way that I'm getting out of here is they carry me out of here. And that's it. So,
Smart. We did a kitchen, and we were like, oh my God, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Just living through a kitchen renovation. I can't imagine ground up.
well, Sinead's renovations, your kitchen and everything you did in your house, crazy too.
Yeah, we did some minor ones. We didn't, knock out everything. We just painted and knocked down a wall and stuff like that, but it's still
Inconvenient.
inconvenient.
Did you fall in love with the kitchen like my wife and then knocked out? Well, you said you didn't knock it down. My wife fell in love with our kitchen, and then
No.
decided to do a whole new kitchen?
I don't love my kitchen.
No, it was just you know what we bought in 2020, and it was 2019 when we bought, and it was second house we saw, and we just kind of went for it, and then COVID hit, so
Oh, wow.
we got really lucky. We were just at that point happy to be in a house, so we got pretty lucky.
Imagine, yeah.
Yeah,
You were at, oof.
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
we were
apartment.
we were in the apartment, and we were on a contract for I think 6 months. So we had like an extended contract for the sellers to find a home, and we didn't know, you know, you
What was
don't know if
gonna
you're going to buy, they're going to find something, anything like that. But we did. We eventually closed in August, and then we kind of slowly just, you know, move every room around 10 times, and my husband come down sometimes. I'm moving the couch. He's like, "What are you doing?" You know, just
Changing
switching it
house.
up.
Doing something new.
Yeah, yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born here in New York, but I moved to Ireland when I was about 8. So I lived there for about 16 years.
awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very, very different life over there.
What part of Ireland?
Kilkenny, so southeast.
Sure.
And when I was 24, I just decided to move back to New York. So I moved back. I always laugh because I'm like, I moved back with $2,000 in my pocket, and I thought, holy moly, like I made the big bucks.
That's awesome.
And now, 10 years later, I own a house, and you know we have a dog. And
Where'd you move to?
I'm in Huntington now.
When you came back?
When I came
Sunnyside
back,
or?
yeah, I was in Queens, all over Astoria, Woodside, Long Island City. I moved around a lot. Forest Hills. I loved it. Loved Queens so much. So I got the feel. You know, I was working in Manhattan, and
Was the Breffney around when you were there, or no?
no,
No.
it wasn't.
And some of the pubs over there, with not Dublin, Donovan's.
Yep. The
Donovan's.
burger.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep, that was there. I worked in a little bar called Cuckoo's Nest. So when I
know
first
that,
got here,
Yeah.
it's since closed down, but you know, it gave me some of my people as such. And you just you're surrounded by the Irish, but
We probably know a lot of the same people.
we probably do. Yeah,
I
there was a
hung out with
lot
them
of
all.
frequent people in there.
That's right.
You know, and you just get to know them. You know, what are you doing? You're having the chats.
That's right.
That's what we
Having the
did.
chats, yeah.
So it was fun. It was
Some
it
of
was
them
a
having the
different world.
shakes afterwards.
Lots of shakes. There was lots of shakes in my 20s, but that's okay. We all had them.
Back to real life.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, right.
When did you decide to get into what did you? What was your first career? Was it real estate or?
So went to college at University of Buffalo and transferred to St. John's.
You went to Buffalo too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So after St. John's,
So many people went to Buffalo.
I was still all through college, all through high school and college. I waitressed. So that's where I made great money.
Yep.
You know, I paid for school myself. You know, my parents didn't have the resources to give me, and so after college, it was like I need a job. You know, so I started working for a wine company as in the office. You know, and that's where I met my husband.
Yep.
And we were dating like 6 months, and the two of us were like, yeah, it's probably not good that we work in the same place while we're dating. So he had been there for several years, and I was newer there. So I'm like, I'm out.
You won,
know?
yeah.
I was like, I'll leave. So I took a position as a front desk in a real estate office in Merrick, right on Merrick Avenue. It was 1995 that I started working there. And
Dave was still with the same company all the way through. He worked.
no, he worked for that first company until 2007, and then started working for another company after that, and then wound up back at that other company, the original company he wound up back at. So I was working the front desk at this real estate office, and the broker owner and his girlfriend who owned it were like, you should get your real estate license. You'd be great at this. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm like, nights, weekends, I've been doing that waitressing for all these years. I want them 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, shut the door, you know, let that be the
No
end
worries.
of it.
Yep.
So about 6 months into working there, this is when you had to pick up keys where there were no lock boxes. You had to physically go pick up a key from an office to show a property. This gentleman, and I use that term loosely, comes walking up the street. He's like in a suit, but like disheveled. His hair's all over the place. Got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's getting closer and closer to the office. He throws a cigarette in the street, and he walks in. And he's like, "I'm here to get the key for 1,
That was
2, 3."
Richard Amato at that time.
Didn't know it, but now I do. He's like, "I'm here to get the key for 1, 2, 3 Main Street," and I give him the key, and he leaves. And I was like, "Who the heck is that guy?" Like, they're like, he's one of the top producers in Merrick. And I was like, are you kidding me? And they're like, no. I said, if that man came to my house, I wouldn't let him in.
That's
I was like,
hysterical.
fine, sign me up.
Get me my license.
And that was it. I got my license.
That's awesome.
And my career began with them just feeding me buyer leads because they didn't want to be working with buyers. And they'd get 50% of everything I did. And I did that for about a year with them. And then an opportunity arose for me to leave that company and join another. And I did.
Was that the one that you
I went from an independent, which eventually turned into a coal banker. It was Your Home Realty on Merrick Avenue. And then I went to work for National Home Finders in
I didn't know
Massapequa.
that, yeah.
Was there until National Home Finders wasn't there anymore. And then I went to work for Prudential, which is now Douglas Elliman in Merrick. I was with them until 2005.
When did you start?
1996.
96.
Yeah, I got licensed 29 years. I got licensed in 96, bought my house in 96, got married in 98.
Wow.
And yeah.
So I was in the residential side. I was doing property management,
Mm-hmm.
but I was still a police officer in 96. So we started right around,
The same time.
but you were doing sales way before me.
Yeah.
Just to let that be known.
Yes, let that be known. I was doing sales way before Rich Amato.
No. So then you went to
So
Remax.
then I went to Remax after Prudential, and then from Remax I joined Keller Williams, and that was 10 years ago. 2015 I joined Keller Williams.
15. Okay, and then what kind of numbers were you doing, like from just roundabouts?
So my best
This is
year
so
in real
interesting.
estate before I joined Keller Williams was 17 transactions.
17.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, look at all this business I'm doing.
Sure.
Little did I know.
Little did you know.
What opportunities were out there. Yeah, and it all started with me going to Bold for the first time. Like,
No, it really started with me, you, and Janie going to lunch.
yes.
Which was hysterical. We hit it off, I'll
Yeah,
tell you that much.
yeah.
I enjoyed that day. I kept asking him when we're going to go back.
Yeah. I remember meeting with Michael Brand before I
remember that.
joined Keller Williams, and him saying to me, like, how many transactions did you do? And I told him, and he was like, don't lie to me because I can check your numbers. And
Yeah.
I was like, why would I lie to you? Like, and it was so bizarre to me, but now I know.
Yeah,
Agents tend to embellish
their numbers a little bit.
their transactions, which
okay.
is fine,
Let them do what they
but
want to do. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, it's all good.
So
It's
you
all good.
go to Remax to Keller. First year in Keller,
I did 26 transactions.
26 transactions.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start with the team?
Oh gosh, I don't even
I
know.
think 2017 you started the team.
Okay, I need Sinead to tell me.
It
But I
wasn't
remember-
with me. It wasn't with me.
No,
but
it wasn't.
No, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was. But when you started, I remember you didn't want a team at first, though, right?
No,
You strictly solo.
I'm a screaming type A personality. I need to control everything. So for me, are you shocked by that? I know everyone's shocked by that. I needed to control everything, and I couldn't see how I could let go. And that transition happened through MAPS coaching and having an incredible coach who walked me through that and showed me that, like, I was always like, but the people want me, and he taught me that they want the service that you provide. If you have other people on your team that can provide the same type of service, they're going to be just fine. And that was like my aha moment. Like, okay,
But how hard was it to make that transition?
it wasn't easy,
Yep.
for me, just because of the type of person that I
Personality, you are.
am.
Yep.
But when you have the right people in place, it's simple. It
Thank God
really is.
but you got the right people
I
right
did.
away, too.
Yeah. I mean, Victoria to our team was an absolute blessing.
Yeah.
We went through some others,
I'm sure you did.
but when we met Victoria, that was it.
How was your hiring process when you got started, like compared to today?
Oh, we did CV right away.
You always did the. Back then, was it AVA or was it still the KPA?
It was a KPA.
Oh, it was the KPA
Yeah.
when you started hiring.
Yeah, when I started.
Okay, so
And we ran the full, program for that. We followed it, and when we did it right, you got the right people.
when did you not do it right?
With a couple of people in
skipped a few
between.
steps.
Yes, we did. We're not
Yeah.
going to name names.
No, of
but,
course
you
not.
know,
Yeah.
there was a few before and a few after that we were like, oh, we don't.
Was it just a
necessarily need
rush
to do-
because you had to rush into the hire, or was
It's
it?
just that, like it takes so
Get it over with?
long. We were like, oh, it takes
Yeah.
so long, and maybe we'll just skip this part of it, and we paid for that. So
We didn't know what we wanted either. Like we weren't clear on our goals for hiring someone, bringing someone
Sure.
onto the team.
Yeah.
So that made it a little harder for us too, where it's like you don't know exactly what you're going for. You know who you want, right? You want someone that's going to be great or just like us, which
Yeah.
is what we always laughed about. But you really don't like know the nitty gritty of it. So it's until you kind of get into it where you know, what's their background? What's their family life like? Who are they as people? Because we're, in the business of relationships, and that's top priority for us.
So true.
Yeah.
It's
And-
funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and we're both very much so do whatever it takes. And I find that there's really not a lot of people like that out there, that will do anything that it takes to make sure that their clients are well cared for, go above and beyond. People, I find generally speaking, look at our business as if it's easy, right? And we all know from being in it, it's not easy. They don't call it work for nothing. You know what I mean? So finding someone who will, like we had some agents who we had on our team who would be like, I don't know, that's kind of far. I don't really want to drive there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You stand to make let's make up a number, $12,000 to drive an hour.
And you won't do it.
I was like, all right, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Sinead's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll do it too.
Yeah. So it was finding those people that work similarly to the way that we choose to work.
And a lot of people think that they are, right? They say they are. But when it actually comes down to practice and actually being in the moment and being like, yeah, I'll do it, that's different.
Absolutely.
You see people's true colors at that point. And look, everyone's different. So,
it's
you
okay.
have to accept it for who they are.
Right.
But it's just not something that aligned with what we needed
Right.
and
And what your
who we
vision
are.
was.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And who we partner with.
Yeah.
It's funny when we were talking about the KPA being so long. I remember saying exactly what you said to me with Gary, and I said to him, I get a lot of people saying that it takes too long, and he said, "And what do you do then?" I was like, "I try to rush it." He goes, "No, that's when you slow down and do it longer." And I was
Okay.
like, "Wow, okay, makes sense." He said because you're really coaching them out before you hire them, because if they go through the process, then obviously they're a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as if it's as long as you're doing it right, not rushing and
Oh, yeah.
guiding them to the questions.
I was losing my mind when I went through the KPA.
How long
She's
did you
like,
go?
another one? I got to come back
Another
again?
interview.
Another interview?
I think I was about a month to 6 weeks in total. And in
about
the
time,
end,
yeah.
I just I took a leap of faith, left my job, moved out to the island, and I was like, and on a Friday night at 5 o'clock, she gave me a call. Can you start Monday? And I was like, oh, I am.
Thank
and I
God.
had just told my mother, I was like, well, I didn't tell you, but I left my job last week. And, she was like, what are you doing? And then she called. I called my mom, and I
She
was like,
said
it's
more
fine,
than that. She
everything's
probably
fine.
said something, for fuck's sakes, what are you doing today?
I spoke to your father.
Show me your wallet.
Yeah, no, so it
Can only
was...
carry you for a few months now.
So it was definitely a risk, but it just, I don't know, I think I clicked.
Yeah.
I was interviewed by her then assistant, Nancy.
Yeah.
And
Man, remember that, Nancy?
just
Yeah.
good people. And it just was a good feeling.
You're a good hirer. You really are.
Thanks.
I give you that.
Yeah.
You're good at a lot of things, but I was always impressed by that. That
Thank
you're
you.
always patient and carrying it through.
And that's difficult for me too, because trying to be patient. But I know now, how
how
important,
important
it is.
it is.
Yeah. how
So
important it is.
you start the team.
Yep.
Take me through that process, because you did it the right way, I'm assuming, right?
I'd like to think so.
Where'd you start?
By hiring Nancy.
So that was your first hire.
Yeah. Yep. That was my first hire. Hiring her, which she was fabulous.
She was the gatekeeper back then.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
today?
She was incredible. And she came to me and was like, John and I considering selling our home. And I was like, absolutely not. You're not selling your house, because that means you're leaving me. And she's like, no, we're not leaving. We're just gonna downsize. Stay in Long Island. The kids were still here. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. Put the house on the market. We get it sold. Comes in and she's like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh my God, you're gonna be kidding me. And that's when she told me she was leaving. But she was phenomenal in helping me find Sinead, and going through that process before she
She did the move.
Meticulous.
relocated. Yeah.
She's very meticulous.
That she was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
She kept me in line.
She did. She kept a lot of people in line.
Yeah, she did. She did.
It's not easy to do.
No. So what did you expect going into that? What kind of work were you doing prior?
I was waitressing, bartending, managing places in the city, so it was just completely different. I just wanted to completely different change. One of the 9 to 5, one of the.
It's funny
work in
you say that,
office.
but it's still similar in
Yeah.
some ways, right? Because it's customer service at the highest
yeah.
level, especially in your position that you
Yeah.
when you started.
And customer service was really bred into me. I worked in a supermarket in Ireland that was top. Like, customer service was number one. So I learned a lot there. And I worked my way up there. And I started working with, like, finances and stuff in there. And then I moved. So I came over to New York and just started, grinding. You walk the streets, you find a job, you start that night, like, whatever it is. And then I was introduced to Gina, and we just kind
How
of...
did that happen?
It was my husband's aunt was her personal
Who was
trainer.
my personal trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know someone that's looking for someone you'd be a great fit. It was at like a Father's Day dinner or
Yeah.
something. And
That's
I was,
awesome.
I mean, fresh. I wasn't even living out the island. Me and my husband weren't living together yet. It was just so fresh. And then it all just kind of worked out. Like, it just one thing after the other. I left my job in the city, came out here, and I think I had like one day, and then it was the KW picnic.
That's
I
interesting.
had no idea what was going on. I was like, what's happening here? And then I think just like the rest of the week, Nancy was just like saying goodbyes, and like it was just crazy. I mean, it's your last week in work. You're moving out of the state. Everything is just going to be hectic for you. So I wrote down pretty much every single thing that she did in a little notebook that I still have. And from there, the first few months, first year, I would say, was just learning real estate, learning everything to do with real estate, learning who Gina is, learning what our business is. And that took years, honestly, to even establish, like to come up to that level and understand what it was that we were trying to do. And
Especially somebody so impressive like you.
and it was
I'm
intimidating.
not joking either. Yeah.
I mean, and everyone said you have really big shoes to fill. And I'm like, I'm a
Thank
size
you.
10. Like,
That's awesome.
but it was terrifying. Like, you're someone that has such a great presence and legacy, and you're stepping into that role, and you have no idea what this world is even like, or anyone that's in it. So it was,
But Gina knew you were able to do it, obviously.
yeah,
and
she trusted
so,
me,
Yeah.
for sure.
From day one, yeah,
yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that.
So
Which is awesome.
And
I was like,
asked
here,
her.
go at it.
People don't
There's
understand
so
that,
many
though. Yeah.
questions.
Knock it out.
Oh man, I must have driven her crazy.
Not at all.
In my, I'm sure there was.
Was
a
she
couple
like
times.
me? I'll tell you tomorrow.
No, she wouldn't get that out.
Let me get back to you on
I'd be
that.
like, so you're in the office.
Julia's nodding, yeah. I'll let you know tomorrow.
And I would capture her, and I would close the door, and I'd be like, all right, now you're here. Boom, 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 boom. I need all these questions answered.
And we were in office, which was fabulous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we were together 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'd come in first thing. We'd be the first ones
We
in
were
the
the first ones
office.
there.
And
That's awesome. And what did you learn from each other? Like what are you looking for at that point? And I know it's a tough question, but
Yeah.
what is it that you're looking from in that instant, right? Where you just make the hire. What are you looking at that point, being you? And then what are you looking at? What are you looking to get out of this? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was,
Because the relationship works so well. And
yeah. And look, we have disagreements. There's
Of course you
there's
do,
no
yeah.
denying that. I mean, business is business.
It's like being married.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly
Almost.
what it's
It really
like.
is.
Yeah.
It's like you have your ups, your downs.
Like,
your-
oh God damn it! No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. It's true.
But
It's-
and it's. I think
It's
for
crazy,
me, I was looking for someone that would show me the way. I wanted to change as a person, so show me the way to like lead with generosity, lead with kindness, but also be fierce and be business oriented. So that was really important to me to kind of find someone like that. And at the beginning, I didn't, know how it was going to turn out, how long you're going to last. Like I'm very critical of myself, so it to
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It can be both.
It can be both. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
lot of anxiety and stuff like that.
was gonna
I've
say
struggled
that,
through my life with it, and
Usually happens with that.
yeah, and I'm hard on myself. So it was very much, am I doing the right thing? Is she gonna fire me? I mean,
She's harder on herself than I am on
yeah,
her.
course.
100%.
Honestly, I mean,
Which made it harder too, because you're like, okay, well, she's not saying. Is there stuff she's not saying, right? And that's anxiety in a freaking nutshell. But it was tough because you're trying to balance growing up, and you're trying to balance a new business, and you're trying to all these new changes and everything. But I just wanted someone that I could look up to, and I think that I learned that pretty quickly that she was the right fit for me in that sense, where it's like someone that can lead me in the right direction.
Okay. So now take me a year in. What does the Padro team look like?
Oh, at that point, we had an agent on our team.
How long did it take you to hire the agent?
She was kind of already on the team when I had joined. Like,
Yeah.
she would do transactions and
Yeah.
stuff like that with us.
And then we brought him in more.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
And then I think it was around that time I started coaching, too.
Yep.
Not through MAPS at that time. I did do MAPS later down the road. But I, started coaching, and she was, helping me navigate, like, accountability, which was the biggest thing. So I started on that kind of journey. And at that point, I kind of felt confident in everything that I knew about real estate. You're always going to learn. I still ask questions, but at that point,
Me
I was
too.
like, yeah, I'm like,
we all do, yeah.
we can pivot. And our focus then was like growing the team and making it like a safe space for our agents, as well as like very educational based. So I kind of started focusing on that side of the business, accountability, education, training, and just kind of it being in a more supportive role.
What
for the
position?
agents.
What's your role now? When
Director of operations.
When you were there at that same time, was it director of ops?
It was more executive assistant.
Okay.
And I just kind of, I wanted
grew
more.
into the role.
Yeah, I wanted more, so I just kind of
Grew
took
into
on
it.
more responsibility and, tried to take more off Gina's plate because that's the
How
end
hard was
goal.
that? Because again, when you have somebody that's controlling, not
boy.
controlling, but I don't want to use the
How
word
long do you have?
controlling.
No, I'm just kidding.
Is this a 4-hour podcast?
That's it.
we still have moments where I'm like, I will call her and I'm like, stop, like stop. This is not your role. And she's like, I'm stepping back. So originally,
Like, stay in my lane? Is that what you're telling me? Stay in my lane?
100%.
I
Originally, I
guess.
didn't have the confidence to do that. You're like, oh, I just don't want to get fired. That's like your biggest thing. And
When you look back at that, it's so silly, right?
my
There was
God,
never a risk
damn
of
it.
her being fired.
She would have drowned.
Yeah, 100%.
You
I
know?
tell everyone she's really the boss. Like, I work
Yeah.
for her. You know what I mean?
It was,
Sad thing is, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I know you do.
and it was, it was a lot of learning, like a lot of learning, and constantly just thinking about the business and moving it forward. And, we're partners in this, and accepting my role in that, and then growing that confidence took years to really get to the point where I'm like, all right, stop it. Like, even now I'm like, you know what? If she wants to do that,
Let her
fine.
do it.
She's gonna regret it. She'll spend an hour looking for a spreadsheet. I'll spend 2 minutes. Fine.
God bless.
And you'll learn your lesson.
To this day, I'm like,
Damn.
I'll either text her, call her, email her. I'm like, Sinead, I'm in the drive, and I cannot find whatever it is that I'm looking for. She's like, I'm gonna email it to you right now. I'm like, thank you, because
Yep.
I really
Literally
do
seconds.
attempt to
That's
leave her
scary.
alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Which that's not my role.
she's like, right. She's like,
You're supposed to be, up my butt.
yeah.
Where can I find this? Where can I find that? Within reason, obviously. I'm not
Yeah.
going to hand everything to you on a silver platter, but, that's part of where the education, the training comes in, and creating all these systems. Systems, as we know in KW, are top priority.
yeah.
And
Key.
they're hard to build, and they're hard to train, and they're hard to get into the habit of using, but it's just habit building at that point.
And Sinead's built them all.
So,
Built them all.
let's get another question, because I think this is going to be an interesting question, too. Like, what was your vision prior to Sinead joining, and then how much did that vision change?
So I had already had Nancy, so I was spoiled, by her and what she brought to the team, or to me, because it was just me at the time. So when Sinead came on, first of all, I trusted Nancy's opinion.
of
When
course.
she said to me, like, this is the person, I was like, you say so.
How many people were in the running back then? Did she
There-
weed them out quick? And
We were down to 3.
down to 3, okay.
Yeah, down to 3. And then we were 2, and then we were making the decision from 2. And Nancy was like,
Hands down.
she's the one, Gina.
Good.
You gotta
Like,
say
she's
thank
the
you
one.
for the interviews. That's what she always said.
Yeah.
You responded immediately. It's the trick.
It is?
Just waiting for that email to come in and respond.
Yeah. And so from once I knew that, like once Nancy gave me the
Okay.
go ahead and okay with it, then it was just a matter of Sinead coming in and learning the role. Thankfully Nancy was very organized,
Yeah.
extremely organized, so she had a lot there. What was difficult for me was that Nancy was doing that stuff, And I didn't even know what Nancy was doing. You know what I mean? Like, because she was doing her job and I was doing my job. Excuse me. So when Sinead came in, it was kind of like, well, Nancy knew what she was doing. So
You know what
now
you're
you
doing.
should
Yeah.
now you should know what you're
She
doing.
created it too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but that wasn't the case. So there was a learning curve for us getting her up and running. But she was a self-starter, did pretty much everything on her own. You know, would ask me questions and things like that, but took the bull by the horns and just ran with it and made our team what it is today. So
So the vision, what was your vision? What's your current vision like now for the team, and what
We are, I would say, honestly, it's just continuously building those relationships. It's not, we did have a huge focus, and it was a lot of pressure, I feel like, to grow. You see these teams, and they are huge. And
I
they
think
have
it's insane what they do.
20 agents, and it was just so overwhelming. So we eventually, I think it was last year.
But the difference, I'm
We-
sorry to cut you off, the difference is you have 20 agents and making no money.
correct.
Exactly. And that was our issue. Like,
Which makes
no,
no
you're not
sense
going
to
to
me.
just coast on our team.
And that's what we saw.
Yeah. And that's,
And we I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We did attempt to grow. Like we figured
Sure.
if we had like 2 to 3 buyers agents, you know, and then we could pivot Victoria out of the buyer side and into the listing side, because honestly, I'm in a season of my life where I don't want to be grinding like I've been for the last 29 years. You know what I mean? And it's not even 29 years. I'm going to say last 15 years. You know, like I don't want to be grinding like that. I don't have to anymore. You know, like my kids are out of college. You know,
Yeah, you made-
I'm just in a different place in my life. So we did try and grow the team, and it was not successful.
No. We had a lot of fail
And
forwards.
A lot, and
But that
you know,
makes it successful in its
and there
own
was a
way.
lot
Yeah,
of
we learned a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of frustration, you know, and there was a lot between, especially Sinead and I,
Yeah.
because she's spending all of this time training them and bringing them up to speed and
Pouring
getting them
into
ready to
them.
them and totally pouring into them, and then they leave. You know, so that was incredibly frustrating for her.
Yeah.
Because all of her energies and all of the resources that she had were, you know, poured into these people, and then they up and left. So about a year ago, if you want to finish the story, we decided, we had a conversation, Sinead, myself, and Victoria. And we-
It wasn't our goal to be that big team.
No,
We wanted to be an efficient team. You know,
Smart. Yeah.
and small but mighty. That's what we've always said.
Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really just where our focus has been. So we just kind of poured more into the business aspect of things instead of focusing on growth. And, you know, growth works for some people. And there's been growth. We just don't have the, you know, the people.
it's
the
not
physical,
right. It's not the people growth.
It's not the people growth.
It's
It's the
a,
business
it's the
growth.
better growth.
Yeah.
Hate
It's
to
the
say it that
relationship.
It's the
way.
internal.
And
Right,
their
the
relationship
internal.
growth.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, it's focusing on the
Pour
relationship.
into your business and you get more out of it. And that's what we started to do.
And I truly believe that's going to grow you just inside that way. Just by
Oh,
doing that,
absolutely.
you'll start
Yeah.
getting
And we're all a lot happier.
Yes.
much
you know,
happier.
much happier.
Yeah. There's not
You
as
know,
much
we are
pressure.
we're like a well-oiled
No drama,
machine.
really.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
No,
Because
I
again,
mean
there's
everyone's
no,
got each other's back. You know,
We're there to pick up the slack if someone isn't around, isn't feeling well, is, you know, because everyone has their days. Everyone has their, and I'm very like mental health. I'm like, if you need your time, you take your time. Like there's no
pressure.
pressure.
Sinead taught me that.
But it's true. I mean, it's true. And it's, you know, we've all gone through crap in our lives and stages where it gets hard and, you know, you have to take the foot off the accelerator and just, we're there for each other when that day comes. And that's something
Awesome.
that's built into our business and built into who we are and our relationships and everything like that.
So if you ever did go that route, would that mean everything would have to change, or would you
If we
still be
what?
able to did grow this massive team?
We
It
won't
would
do.
never. It would. No, I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
would. Would that be able to be accomplished? You think in your mind what you're doing now?
I think it would if the right people were in place.
But it's hard to find the right people.
Really hard.
Because they have to
Almost
match
in our
you
opinion.
and
Yes.
everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part. And and again, I'm not knocking people that do anything because it's
No.
their business. But I think people just hire to hire.
Yeah.
We say that all the time.
Right.
It's like, okay, you know, like let's grab all these people and put them on our team. You know, now from the outside looking in, you're like, wow,
It's massive.
look at
yeah.
that agent. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they have 18 agents on their team, and three
GCI.
of them are doing business.
If that.
So watch the 3 of us do business.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So it comes down.
You know,
Yeah.
same results. You know,
Same results,
Absolutely.
less headaches. And
Yeah.
it's And more
I
time
think
being
better
put.
results.
Yes.
But, you know,
We're biased.
we are.
I would be too.
Just a little bit.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's working for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Which
absolutely.
is how long did it take you to figure that out though? Was that like a right away thing or
No.
No. I mean, not for nothing in KW, in any brokerage, but we found recently in the past few years, KW, they push bigger teams, right?
Sure.
Because it's supposed to give more listings, more buyers, more income and everything like that. So it wasn't until we kind of paused, and at the time I had a MAPS coach, and she was like, well, what do you want? Like, do you want to grow this team? Like, you guys need to assess that. And we just realized that the relationships that we have and already value are more important than bringing in all these different people that might clash, right? There's always going to be a
Bodies, just bringing
personality
bodies
clash.
in.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something, right, that doesn't align. And that's totally fine. Everyone is different. But it's just, we kind of realize, like, okay, like growing this, maybe it's not the best idea. So let's just see what happens when we take our focus off of that. And from there, I don't think we've even had a conversation about it. It's just been smooth sailing. And it's, you know, the pressure is off. And it feels good, you know, like everyone feels better on the team. No one's wondering, you know, is someone going to come in and take all my business? Is, you know, who am I going to have to train? You know, are we going to have to pull more weight because this person doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z? So.
And I think the other key point of that was, like, you know, Victoria has adorable baby Luke, who we freaking love. You know, so she's in a season of her life where she wants to be home with her son, be her mama. So we sat down and collectively decided, like, no, our goal is not going to be X houses this year because we're okay with that. Like, I'm going to make this, she's going to make that. You know, everyone's
happy.
Everyone's happy, so it doesn't have to be at this level, you know, to
great.
have. And I think that, you know, also took a lot of the pressure off
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
all of
I
us.
think that's an amazing mindset to have.
You know, to not have to be that, again, grind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
Doesn't
when
have to be
did-
that way.
So you can answer this. If not, it's okay. When did you make the decision to really step back and now go in a different route and buying like properties and?
So when my husband passed away
Oh, okay. I thought it was
in
before.
November of 21.
I actually thought it was before
No,
that.
the first investment property that we bought was when my daughter was moving off campus, and that was in 2019.
Okay.
Dave passed away in 21.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah,
So I
so
thought it was before. Yeah.
when he passed away, it was like, okay, how am I making up his income? You know, yes, I make a good living, but we were used to living off double income.
Of course.
And my kids were still in college, and tuition needed to be paid, and all those things. So that's when I really dove into the investment part of it
How's that
to
turned out?
supplement the income. It's great. It's great. Including my primary residence, I own 11 properties.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and that has helped for sure.
What's your trick to that? You want to share?
I don't know if it's a trick, but the properties that I own in South Carolina are all around the college that my children went to. And it's highly desirable, especially now because the college has over-enrolled and they don't have enough on-campus student housing for freshmen and sophomores. So now instead of having just juniors and seniors looking for properties, you have sophomores, juniors, and seniors looking for properties. It's very, very close to the campus, and it's just a desirable spot. So
Silly question now. Did you fall into that, or you did the research on
no,
that?
I was purposeful about it.
Okay, good.
You know, my realtor brain, when my daughter was moving off campus, I'm like, I'm not paying someone else's mortgage. It's not happening.
Sure.
You know, so that's when David and I decided to buy the first one, which my daughter lived in, which I still have.
Was your intent to sell it when she got out, or
No,
it was just
no,
gonna
because
hold
at
it?
that point, my MAPS coach, she has, at this point now, 56 investment properties. So she's
It's
coached
not Linda, right?
No,
Okay.
Heidi Four.
Okay.
So she's coached me through the investment part of it.
Okay.
So as the properties came up in that area, I was like, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I have 5 there.
What was that like? Just grab it, grab it,
Oh,
grab it. That's awesome.
It sounds easier than it really was, but no, I knew what how the moneymakers they would be. You know, I knew it. Didn't realize the headaches that came along with it. It feels like you adopted 15 irresponsible 20-somethings
I had the ones by house. Yeah.
who can't get out of their own way, I have to share a story.
Please.
One of the tenants called me yesterday. She's like, Gina, the key to my room's not working. And I was like, okay. She's like, it worked the other day, but now it's not working. I said, when did it work? She goes, it worked this morning. I said, so you're trying to tell me that the key that you used to unlock your door this morning is no longer working? She goes, yes. I was like, I can't help you. You're going to need to call somebody and have them. But these are the kind of calls I get. Like, you know.
What was it?
The lock was changed.
Oh, okay.
But she's like, but I don't understand how it worked this morning. I'm like, I don't either. I don't either.
She changed the lock probably.
I'm like, whatever. No, it turns out that my handyman had to break into the room to shut off the breaker box.
Okay.
He changed it. So I'm guessing that door was never locked.
Yeah.
And she probably stuck her key in there and it fit. And she was like, oh, and he had forgotten to give her the new key. But these are the kind of calls you get. And it's kind of like, oh my gosh. And these kids go through washers and dryers.
Like, no tomorrow.
Like every year and a half, I'm replacing washers and dryers in these properties. Other than that,
It's great.
it's great. I love it. So I self-manage South Carolina, and then I have 4 properties in North Carolina.
Same thing by college?
No, actually, they're all Section 8 homes. They don't call it that there, but we're familiar with it here. So they're all Section 8. They're 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranches, and
So that you need, you just go in now looking for Section 8, or you and those?
strictly Section 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose that route?
Guaranteed money, and the county where I invested in, their policy is if a tenant does any damage to the property or is not a good tenant, they'll revoke their voucher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're out in less than 30 days if they're not paying their rent, if they're a regular renter, but we don't have that issue.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. I'm not going to name names. He is in the 50, 60 range. He's in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he does too is Section 8.
Yeah.
And he was telling me if nobody paid their rent on the cash side and it fell through, his mortgage is still covered just on the Section 8 part.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
I was very fortunate in that I bought them in, I don't remember, November of 23. It was 3 that I bought from a wholesaler. And the rents on them were $950. And then that January, the county increased to $1,250.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't have to do anything. They were already in place. There was an increase in it. And it was like, okay. Yeah. So
How about
great
yourself?
little side gig.
You want any properties? Or
I
looking
just
to
my
get into
home.
it?
For now.
For now.
For now.
We had a bit of a setback in 2022. My husband lost his job. He got laid off. So we've basically just been grinding. I started 2 kind of side hustles for myself. He did the same. And now he works with a clothing drive, Go Green Clothing Drive. So he just started, he's basically the director of operations for that too. And we have, I think, 6 streams of income right now. So we're just grinding,
awesome.
Yeah.
grinding. But it's, my mom always says you cut the cloth to its measure, and we had to cut back, and, you just kind of put the head down and focus on things. So our priorities have been a little out of whack for the past couple of years, but we're getting back on track now, which is good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the right hands, too.
Yeah,
She's
absolutely.
it's
Yeah, and it was good to have Gina. She experienced similar in her own marriage years ago, and so just having someone to kind of talk to on the harder days and stuff like that was good, because it's scary. There's a lot of changes and people losing jobs and everything like that, and it's overwhelming.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah.
So, I was going to save this to the end, but you guys pretty much are not a team. You're a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
That's 1,000%. That's what I'm hearing here. You guys are true and true, family. This is not a
Absolutely.
team. This is a family.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to develop that? Did it happen because again, when
I feel like it
always
happened
knows that
fairly
over-
quickly.
Quickly, right?
And,
Because
and not like a month, but I feel like it happened fairly quickly because we all carry the same values.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is key. And we all won't tolerate the same bullshit.
So true.
It's true. Yeah.
You know
She
what
gets
I
me
mean?
going sometimes.
I do. Truth be told, 100%
But
do.
it's we do. We have the same values, and we align on a lot of things, and there's things we don't align on, and that's
okay.
the same with family, right? You just have to accept them for who they are.
Or not.
And
That's
or
right.
not.
I was just going to say.
I mean,
Or you
we're all
kick 'em to
learning
the
that
curb.
lesson.
Yeah. That's right.
But it's you kind of learn to work together and just kind of build something together. and that's what our focus has been. You know, like just building our client base, staying. You know, we even see our clients as family.
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot of client events, and we'll just kind of, even when they see me now, I'm like, hi. Like, I know their kids, I know them, and I know their address because I have this crazy memory when it comes to
I'll
it.
literally say a name and she'll be like, 29 Richard Avenue. I'm like, Jesus, how
Yeah.
do you know
How do you-
that?
yeah, really.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I freak them out sometimes.
Talented,
It's fun.
so talented.
What kind of events are you doing this year?
For what we did so far this year?
What you do, and then what are you looking to do in the future?
We have three main
main
events a year. So we have our pie giveaway, which is always 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Sure.
And then we have Bunny Bonanza, which is a spring event. It's a family event. And then we do a baseball game at the Long Island Ducks. So we split them out over the course of the months, and we've just built them up to, I feel like just people expect them. Like our
Yeah.
clients now,
They-
we're the
they
same
wait
people.
for it,
They
yeah.
wait for it, yeah. And they know what to expect. And it's a lot of work goes into
I'm
it.
sure.
It's meticulous planning.
That's exactly
and
right. Yeah.
But she's got the playbooks now. Now
Yeah.
for her, it's like plug
Yeah.
and play, plug and play. Like,
Yeah.
How much does it grow every year?
It depends, right?
Yeah.
Because some kids, they grow out of it, right? So Bunny Bonanza we have live bunnies. We have the Easter bunny in the past. We have, face painting and balloon twisting and all this fun stuff. And some kids they grow up, right? I've seen clients that would have come years ago. They don't come anymore because their kids
Children
are
are
older.
gone.
Years
Or,
out of us.
but
But
we're
this year
always,
was the highest attendance for Bunny Bonanza, wasn't it?
yeah, I think we had around 100
Yeah.
Wow.
at the event.
Where was that? Where's that held?
We have previously held it in the East Meadow Benevolent Hall. So we've gotten rained out the past 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years. So we're doing things a little differently next
Okay.
year. Already have the venue, the bunnies, everything's booked already. So
The
we're
bunnies
just.
were booked.
I know.
Bunnies are
The
booked.
bunnies are the bane of my life.
Yes, because there was one year where they called like
Oh,
the day before. And
It was
they-
3. Yeah, it was 3
days-
weeks. 3 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't do
Can't
the
do it.
bunnies.
Guess
and
what?
I
You're the
remember we
bunny.
were at a KW training, and I was like, "What do you mean you can't do the bunnies? What are you talking about?"
We got ducks.
So I can't
chickens.
do
We
it.
got them with chickens.
We always have now. We
Now
always
we
have
have
chickens with the silky chickens.
You got
But
chickens.
it was, and you know what? I remember that it felt like the world was falling out from under me, and we had bunnies at that event. There was no
Like,
stopping
can't have
us.
Bunny Bonanza with
I
no
called
bunnies.
every,
can't.
Yeah.
and even people with bunnies. I was like, all right, if people cancel, like you got 2 bunnies, so and so has 1 bunny. I'm gonna pull bunnies from anywhere. I don't care where they're coming from.
Going to my yard. I got bunnies all over the place in my house. Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, I can catch bunnies. I will make sure there's bunnies at this event. So people love it,
Yeah.
and it's different every year. We started, the first couple of years was just past clients.
Yeah.
And now we kind of, extend
Expanded
it
that.
to people that are, possibly waiting. They might sell this year, they might buy next year, whatever it is, and our, sphere as well. So it's just kind of come together as this big event that.
I'm curious on this. Do you, like when I ran my team, I did it in like ponds, I called them. Are you similar to that, where you have an A pond, a B pond, and a C pond?
For-
Where the A pond is everybody that's doing deals, the B pond is everybody that's going to be doing deals, and the C pond is just everybody out there?
We don't call it that, but yeah, pretty
Similar to
much.
that, right?
It's like,
Pretty much, but
Yeah.
we treat them the same.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So they get
Yeah.
everyone will get an invite.
Yep.
Correct.
We have, and it's a lot. We have spreadsheets left, right, and
No.
center.
Hold on a second. Sinead has
Spreadsheets,
spreadsheets.
yeah.
Yes.
Gina couldn't put a spreadsheet together to save her life.
And they're automated, and
Yeah.
they come from Trello. And I'm always up the agents to like check which event they get,
Yeah.
and we go through it constantly as well, a couple times a year, just to make sure that everyone that we want on there, and they may just have had kids, right? Last year, like they're not a client, but we know, hey, they would enjoy this event. And they come and we get business out of it, and people, they look forward to it.
Yeah.
So it's like we treat everyone the same. Sometimes, you'll give a pie out and then they sell with someone else, and you're like, $6 pie.
Should have never given that apple. Should have given freaking strawberry pie. instead of-
Yep.
That was extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
They sell with somebody else.
So, it very rarely happens,
Yeah.
but we're also at the same time, like, if people can't make it, we do have, say, some sellers that, are homebound, and we will go out of our way to like drop the pie over. Like it's important to us to get our
was
name
amazing.
on there.
And
too.
be face to face with them.
How do you do your pie events? That's amazing to me when you explain this to me. Can you share?
How we do it?
Yeah.
So last year, for the first time, we actually did a split one because we've developed, having Victoria on the team and just growing the business, more Suffolk County clients.
Yeah.
We host them at our house.
That's awesome, but it's insane to me in a way.
And people,
crazy.
people are always like, "Why your house?" I'm like, "Well, we've all been in your house, so now it's time for you to come to my house."
And
Good
people
vision.
love it.
Right?
They get to see her home. They, see
It's
who she is, her
comfortable.
kids.
Yeah.
We're all there.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
it's
family
comfortable.
comes, your parents, like everyone comes.
Yeah.
And the first couple years we did it.
I would never think of that. I really
It was.
wouldn't. That's
We've
insane.
done
It's
so
awesome.
many events at this woman's house.
Yeah, so many events we've done at my house. We
And
did
some of
client
them work,
barbecues
some
at
of
my
them
house.
don't work.
Yeah.
But it's always we're always willing to try something, and if it doesn't work, you pivot and you do
Our
something
house, not
different.
yours.
Exactly.
True.
But no, it's you learn from every right and wrong what to do next year. We always get together after an event. What worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
What are we going to do differently next year?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They just actually do that.
And we are very mindful about it, and we're
How long is that?
purposeful about it.
And silly question. How long is that meeting afterwards? Is it like?
It could be 10 minutes. We could just know straight off because we're very, I'm very perceptive. Gina's perceptive. Like we sit there and we see what's going on at the events.
Yeah.
Like we can see, are people a little uncomfortable? Is it raining? Is it, are there too many people in this one space? Is Gina stressed to the max because it's at her house? So we kind of pivot every year.
Do
Just
you put them on a
based by-
time, like slot when they're coming to get the pies, or is it?
No.
It's just
We just
show
say
up?
between 5 and 7 p.m.
It used to be a different
Okay.
event. We would
Yeah.
have everyone in the house. That was prior to COVID. We would have everyone in the house come in, get cheese, crackers, mulled wine,
Hours.
hot chocolate.
Was it the first year? The last person left my house like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You need to go now."
I
You
was
know?
long gone at that point.
She's like,
But-
"I'm going home. Good luck, Gina."
You're sleeping.
I remember it was that one that I
Yeah.
wore like heels, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh wow, this was not a smart
Put
move."
on your running shoes, girl. This is not a
Because
heels
you're just
kind of
running
event.
around, and you're constantly greeting people. It's
Yeah.
a lot, and the events are all inclusive,
Yeah.
and they take it out of you. I mean, you will not hear from me
Yeah.
or from Gina the day after an
No.
event. We know.
Because you're mentally and physically exhausted.
can
Don't
imagine.
ask me for a damn
'Cause you're
thing.
on,
You're not
on,
getting
on,
anything.
on.
Not today.
You might get an attitude.
That's awesome.
But we just kind of accept that. We're like, all right, like, you move and you groove with it. And you just pour everything into it. And we try and help. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community at the same time as our events. So if it's, a food drive or a school drive or clothing drive or just raising money for a local family in need, something like that, we're always very purposeful about that too. Because it's in our, it's important to us to give back.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
who we all are.
So
definitely.
did you guys come up with this together, or just how it was?
It just kind of naturally, like, we'll suggest things and we'll take some things on board and some things we won't, and we'll say, okay, like, maybe the event is we have too much going on this year, let's add it to next year's event, and then
And the
they kinda grow.
baseball game actually this year was the second year we did that, and that replaced the client barbecue at my house
Smart.
because we needed to figure out a way to.
And it's fun,
Doing
and
that.
kids,
They
it's
love it,
their
they can run
first baseball
around, you know what I
game,
mean,
and
and
they're
it's
pumped,
easy.
and they're getting a hot dog, and they're they're living their best life, and it's fun.
And the
it's
players
fun to watch.
are the players talking to the kids too, or are they getting involved in that?
We
No.
haven't
Is that
gotten
a
that
ducks-
far yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that far yet.
Last year was the first year, so it was just a learning curve. This year was just very much, all right, let's just get our numbers up. So we increased the amount of people at the event.
Okay.
And then next year, we're always looking for something. We grow on every event.
So if you have any connections with the Ducks, let us
Yeah.
know.
We'll talk off air. We will. Because I know they do.
Yeah.
They do events where they'll let the kids possibly go beforehand and play with the players and all.
Two of our guests this year,
Yes. They did this spinning.
the spinning
Spinning
bat
bat.
thing, that dizzy bat thing.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
That was fun.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
So, this hour went by so quick.
I know.
This is great. I love you guys. Thank you. No, this was
Did
really
we talk
great.
about any real estate?
Yeah, no, we didn't really get into that. That's awesome. That's what you want. What are your goals for, not that you guys probably, because it doesn't even look like that's what you're doing anymore, where you're setting, okay, I'm going to do $80 million in production. I'm going to sell 20,000 homes. What is it?
No.
What is it that you're looking for in 26? Just to be happy, or
We're looking for work-life balance. We're looking to enjoy the time that we have here. We're looking forward to Sinead and Tom bringing baby B into this world. I'm looking forward to being able to scale back a little bit and leverage, more of the team for when I'm not physically in New York.
who's going to do that for you?
So Victoria, is always my go-to. Sinead, obviously, anything that I need. And my son Ryan just joined our team.
That's us.
So he's
He's a
sorry,
clone.
Ryan, you're the gopher right now.
That's it.
So literally like doing everything.
Coffee.
And he's happy to do it.
He loves it.
He loves it.
It's a
Anything.
pleasure.
Yeah,
It really
he's-
is a pleasure.
He's just whatever you need, whatever And he grew up hearing at least my side of the story on every phone call and everything
Sure.
else. And me being in the business, and he knows what it takes, and he's seen how I've worked through the years. And he came to this on his own. He was working for a financial company in sales on the phone all day long, which prepped him beautifully for the real estate industry because this kid is not afraid to talk to anybody, which is fabulous.
I like
you
his
know.
son. He's good people.
So thank you. So
He's
I'm
very outgoing. I'll tell you
very-
that
Oh,
much.
yeah.
So
He's
I'm,
great.
I'm gonna definitely. I'm not gonna say lean. I'm gonna dump on him a lot
Absolutely.
to do some stuff for now while he learns. And the good thing is that he knew from the get-go, like, don't expect to see $1 for a minimum of 6 months. Like, prepare yourself for that. And he was good with it.
But you got to throw him into the fire.
Yeah.
And if you can adapt from that, then
He was a week in, and he had his first buyer appointment,
Nice.
and he had scheduled a listing appointment.
Yeah.
Literally a weekend. Why? Because he was on the phones,
Not afraid.
following up on
right.
leads. So, yeah. So that's the goal for us
Yeah.
to just really enjoy life because
Yeah.
it's short.
And enjoy the relationships that we've built.
Yeah.
They're not just between each other, they're between our clients. I mean, 70% of our business comes from our sphere. And
That's awesome.
we pour into them. And for them to know we're top of mind. And that's our biggest goal. Like we've been able, because we've been so purposeful about that over the past few years, they think of us now. And that's what's keeping us going. Not to mention the grind through it all, because there is grinding, whether you
That
want
got you to this point.
Yeah. And you're always going to do some sort of a hustle. Like you got to, if you don't have business coming in, you look at that number and you say, oh.
Yep.
And that pushes you,
Sure does.
How are you going to pay your mortgage next month if you don't have anything coming in? So it keeps us going. We have everything tracked. We can see when everything is, going to close, what our GCI is going to be, what our sales volume is expected to be.
Another spreadsheet, by the way.
Another
for those
spreadsheet.
in case you were wondering.
Right over my head.
So, I make sure that it's like I'm on top of it for the agent so that they can see. Because if you only have one sale, I mean, you're going to feel that pressure, not me.
Yeah.
And
You're like, I'm getting paid.
it's
right.
right. It's
I'm
right
on
there
salary.
in
I'm
front
good.
of you. Yeah. So just kind of having those numbers there and just leading with like the numbers, letting them see it, and deciding, oh, all right, I gotta make some extra calls this week, or I have to sign some new listings. It's like an ebb and flow, and it's just kind of leaning into that a little bit more so that we can, build ourselves put ourselves in a place where it's comfortable and we're just kind of living our life as well as
Growing our
doing that
business.
grind. And
So I do have to ask you one question before we end.
Sure.
Where do you see the business going? 2 more questions I got to ask you. Where do you see the business going?
I see it continuing. I see it with Sinead at the helm
Yep.
and not leaving us ever, ever, ever until she's like 120.
There you go.
Victoria taking on the lead listing side of it, and Brian being our lead buyer agent.
How about the market?
So the market, I mean, these rates go down as they're projecting. I think what's going to happen is that's going to take every buyer that's been sitting on the fence, throw them into the market, and I'm going to see housing prices increase.
And there are a lot of buyers sitting on that fence.
They're still waiting, and as
Just
much as
just saw today on I forget what channel I was watching, what news, but it was 10 to 1. 10 buyers to 1 house.
And it's hard for them.
Or
you know
but they're saying it's going to reverse to 10 to 1. They're really believing that the market's going to.
That'd be amazing. especially here on Long Island.
We'll see if it happens on Long Island. I don't see it happening on Long Island.
I don't either. I think
It's
I think
happening
it's
in-
hyper local, and I don't
everywhere
think we're going to
I
see
agree.
that.
Yeah.
You know, our last 2 listings that we put on the market, you know, a week and a half ago, the first one had
God.
54 attendees at the open house, and
Yeah.
the other one had 43, or it was
Yes.
53 and 44, like right around. That insane, with 13 offers on one and 9 offers on the other
100 groups in. Throughout the-
in 2
throughout the
days,
2 days.
on 2 different properties. Crazy.
They're out there.
Last question.
Yes.
What advice would both of you? What advice would you give to somebody new coming into this world? What's the best advice you can give them?
My best advice would be, don't be afraid to talk to people, because it's very important that people know what you do. Be prepared for the fact that it's going to take you some months to make some money. You got to spend some money when you first join to make the money. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to join a team, I'd highly recommend that, because having a mentor will serve you well in this business. And if you cannot join a team or don't choose to join a team, get yourself a coach.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I would say I'm a little different, right? Because I'm on the operations end. of
Sure.
it. I'm going to say focus on the details, right? So many people skip the small things, and they're important. That's how you give your best customer service. That's how you give your best attention to people. Remember, you know, clients' dogs' names. Remember what they're looking for. If they've said something in passing, you know, just take note of it and always be there for them. Give that service that other people aren't going to give, because they're not. They're focusing on the end, but if you focus on the details, everything comes together a lot smoother, and it comes together, and you build that relationship better, where it's like you're all in this, because it's not just buyers looking for a home. You get just as invested in that, and it's not just sellers selling a home. You get just as invested. You want them to get the best price, but staying on top of the little details and make sure that you're tracking everything. Track everything. Whether it's a simple spreadsheet, a Word doc, a paper and pad, whatever it is, just keep note of the things that the activities you're doing and what you're getting from them.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much,
Thank
or gals
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Love both of yous.
You too,
Gina,
Rich. Thank you.
both of yous became more than friends. We're family. Love yous, and I'm excited to see where you guys go in 26, 27, 28. And hope you get all your dreams come true.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you.